Have you ever met someone over 80 who can still hear a conversation across the room without asking you to repeat yourself? No hearing aid, no special treatment, no expensive supplement. Just an ordinary person in an ordinary house in rural Japan, standing on her porch at 6 in the morning, listening to cedar trees and a stream she can't even see. She can hear the water from there. She can hear a bird change branches. And she hasn't turned on a single thing in her house yet. Most people assume that hearing fades after 60, because that's what ears do. They get old. They wear out. It's genetics. It's age. It's inevitable. But spend a morning in this woman's house in Mie Prefecture, and you start to wonder. Because the difference between her day and yours might not be her ears. It might be what her ears are asked to do all day. Japan has one of the longest life expectancies on Earth. Over 90,000 people there have passed the century mark. And in the quieter parts of the country, people in their 80s and 90s still carry on soft conversations, still notice sounds most of us stopped hearing decades ago. Not because they were born with better ears, because their days never got loud enough to wear them down. Here are 3 things they do, every day, that most of us stopped doing years ago. All 3 are free. All 3 start with turning something off instead of turning something on, and the first one begins before breakfast. 1. The quiet morning. A house where nothing turns on before you do. Step into a farmhouse kitchen in rural Nagano at dawn. No television murmuring in the next room. No podcast playing on a counter speaker. No coffee machine grinding. No air conditioner humming overhead. The woman who lives here, 87, starts her morning with a kettle on the stove and the sound of water reaching a boil. That's it. That's the entire soundtrack. Now picture your own kitchen tomorrow morning. How many things are already making noise before you've even poured your first cup? The fridge hum, the phone buzzing on the counter, the news anchor you turned on out of habit. Most of us wake up into a wall of low-grade electronic sound, so constant we've stopped noticing it. She wakes up into silence. Real silence, the kind where you can hear your own footsteps on the floor. Here's the thing worth sitting with. Her ears aren't resting in the morning. They're working. They're picking up the kettle, the birds outside, her own breathing, soft sounds at close range. Exactly the kind of listening that keeps the whole system engaged. She doesn't protect her hearing by doing something. She protects it by not turning anything on. And you could try the same thing tomorrow. 1 hour. No screen, no speaker, no background noise. Just the sounds your house actually makes when you let it be quiet. You might be surprised what you hear. They don't have quieter ears. They have quieter mornings. So what happens after breakfast? When the day opens up and another person walks into the room. 2. Face-to-face conversation in a quiet room. Around 10 in the morning, the woman from the cedar porch walks to her neighbor's house. She does this 3 or 4 days a week. Has for years. They sit across from each other at a low table, tea between them, and talk. No television in the background. No music. No phone on the table producing notification chimes every few minutes. Just 2 voices in a still room. Stay with me for a second, because this one is easy to miss. Think about the last conversation you had at home. Was the TV on? Was there music playing from another room? Were you half listening for a text? Most of us talk through a fog of background noise so thick that we raise our voices without realizing it. And the person across from us does the same. 2 people in the same room, almost shouting, not because either of them can't hear, but because the room won't let them. These 2 women in Mie Prefecture never raise their voices. They don't need to. The room is quiet enough that a normal speaking voice carries the whole conversation. Their ears spend an hour tracking soft speech at close range, following the rise and fall of a real human voice, catching the small sounds, a laugh, a pause, a teacup set back down on the table, that make conversation feel like conversation. And here's the part most people miss. That kind of listening, low volume, nuanced, sustained, is a daily workout for the ear that no device can replace. Not because it's medicine, because it's use. The same way a hand that gardens every day keeps its grip, an ear that tracks quiet conversation every day keeps its range. When was the last time you talked with someone for an hour in a room where nothing else was making a sound? That's two habits, and both of them happen indoors. The third one takes you outside, and it changes the whole picture. 3. Time outdoors where the only sounds are close and real. Late afternoon in the same village. The light has gone amber. The woman is in her garden now, kneeling between rows of beans and cucumber. The sounds around her are small and near. Soil breaking under a trowel. Wind moving through the bamboo poles she tied last spring. A cicada starting and stopping in the cedar above her head. Somewhere below the slope, the same stream she heard from her porch at 6 that morning, still running, still audible, because nothing between here and there is making a louder sound. She has spent her entire life surrounded by this. Not silence exactly, but a soundscape where every sound is real, where nothing is compressed or amplified or looped, where the farthest thing she hears is a bird 100 meters away, and the closest is the dirt under her hands. Her ears never learned to shut down, because they never needed to. Nothing in her day overloaded them. Nothing forced them to stop listening. Most of us fill the outdoors the same way we fill our kitchens. Earbuds on a walk, a phone call in the yard, music in the car with the windows up. We carry our noise with us, and the natural sounds that used to be the backdrop of every human day, wind, water, birdsong, footsteps on real ground, disappear under it. You don't need a cedar forest. You need 10 minutes in your own backyard, or on your porch, or at the nearest park, with nothing in your ears and nothing in your pocket making a sound. Just stand there. Listen to what's actually happening around you. The wind, a neighbor's door, a dog 2 houses down. Your ears will find them. They still know how. The quiet isn't gone, it's just waiting for you to stop talking over it. Now step back and look at all 3 together. A quiet morning where nothing electronic turns on before you do. A conversation in a room where nothing else competes with the voice across the table. And time outside where the sounds are real and close and soft. None of these are treatments, none of them cost a thing, and none of them require discipline, just a few small changes to the shape of a day. The woman on the porch in Mie Prefecture doesn't do any of this on purpose. She's never thought about ear health. She's never read an article about noise exposure. She simply lives in a day that was never loud enough to make her ears stop working at their full, gentle range. And the stream below her house, the one she heard at 6 that morning, she can still hear it now, at 81, the same way she heard it at 30. Her secret isn't young ears. It's a quiet life. And the encouraging part is that the quiet isn't something she built. It's something she never lost. You don't have to build it either. You just have to stop covering it up. Which of these 3 would you try first? The quiet morning, the conversation with nothing else on, or 10 minutes outside just listening? Tell me in the comments. I read every one. If this made you think of someone who keeps the TV on all day just for company, send them this video. It might start a conversation worth having. And if you want more like this, subscribe. Next time we're stepping into an Okinawan kitchen at breakfast, 6 small plates on a tray, and a secret that has nothing to do with dieting. The cedars outside her window are dark now. The house is still. She can hear her own breathing, the same way she could this morning, the same way she could 40 years ago. Nothing changed. Nothing had to.